louder.
Hello and Assalamualaikum to lecturer and to all students that I love. Today my group want to discuss about COVID-19. Now I want to hand it to Shakir and speak more detail about COVID-19.
Thank you, Shazwan. Now, I want to speak about COVID-19. COVID-19 is an infection disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. Most people who fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatments. Ifan, I already explained about coronavirus. Can you tell us where COVID-19 started?
Thank you for the question, Shakir. The pandemic was initially detected in the city of Wuhan, Hubei, China, and was recognized as a pandemic by the World Health Organization, WHO. So, ideal when coronavirus spread.
Okay, thank you for that question, Ifan. When the coronavirus spread, the outbreak was initially detected in mid-December 2019 until 22 March 2020. Apart from mainland China, the epidemic has spread to 177 other countries around the world, with South Korea, Italy, Iran, Spain, and the United States among the most affected countries. National response measures include arrest measures such as quarantine and confinement. Okay, I already talked about when the coronavirus spread. Can you, Shazwan, tell us how the coronavirus can spread around the world?
Thank you for asking. How it can spread around the world is it spreads the contact with the virus carrier and cause the virus to more actively spread everywhere and cause more victims to be exposed to the virus. Especially in public places frequented by the public. This condition allows to the virus to be spread and the risk of the infection in the person is higher.
For now, it's all about introduction of COVID-19 from us. Next, we will talk about pros and cons, impact on economy, impact on social life, and the availability of the vaccines. Shazwan, can you tell us about pros and cons from COVID-19?
That's a good question, Shakir. The pros and cons from the COVID-19 is nature can be preserved because humans are forced to stop any daily activities and industrial operation. It because daily activities can surrounding area becomes polluted by humans. Many industries also make various environmental pollutants. Next, self-awareness of the things that have been fallen, the world make human beings continue to learn from the evils that have been done. From that, human beings continue to strive and unite to deal with the spread of the pandemics from continuing to spread and become more worse. The cons for this is the economic downturn in the country has been forced to people to live in poverty and the standard of living will drop dramatically because people need to be indoors following the spread of COVID-19 and it spread over time. The last one is people will live in fear and insecurity because they are worried about the spread of the disease, especially among the elderly people, because the percentage of that is among the elderly people.
So I want to talk about impact on economy. Developing economy markets are expecting to experience a sharp decline following the global impact of COVID-19, with experts expecting a reversal of portfolio as high as $100 billion USD. This situation, the IMF said, would pose a very clear challenge for a not so strong economy.
Wait a minute, what does the IMF means?
The IMF means International Monetary Fund. It's an international organization that oversees the world financial system in accordance with the microeconomic policies of member countries. So the IMF says the effect of COVID-19 have also seen many countries with extensive financial control that have never been witnessed in previous economic crises. And we will see how many negative effects we can see apart from what we were speaking about this pandemic a moment ago.
Ifran already told us so much impact on economy. So now I'm going to tell you guys the impact on social life. Many social experts believe that the need for continued health care will have a profound effect on human lifestyle, and that as long as the coronavirus related people will become so accustomed to health issue that they will no longer be able to reduce their use hygiene products. The closure of school, university and other institutions to prevent the spread of coronavirus has caused people to spend a lot of time at home, which can lead people to acquire skills and hobbies such as reading, painting, music, sewing, cooking, entertainment and so on, and discover a lot of hidden talents. There is no doubt that quarantine and distance from society can have many negative effects, and not attending for school for long periods reduce students' ability to learn. Of course, the closure of companies, factories and department stores have serious economic consequences, especially for employees and workers who don't have job insurance and a fixed salary, and it is difficult for them to stay at home economically. On the other hand, following the escalation of the corona epidemic, travel and tourism restriction and the closure of many passenger companies, the economy of many countries are becoming increasingly vulnerable, and people working and investing in this area are facing difficult challenge. Of course, there is no doubt that after the end of the corona crisis, the movement people and around the world will caused by the corona disease in the future. The prevalence of coronavirus caused people to reconsider many aspects of life. For example, the way animals move and sell will change greatly in the future, and especially measured in the field of transportation and shopping, and livestock sale will be applied to prevent the spread of coronavirus and infection disease.
The corona crisis has dealt with the fact that their life security could be seriously endangered on Earth. The condition which endanger the security of human beings in the world do not have the slightest role and value ensuring the health and mental security human being feel helpless against this disease. The consequences of corona in economic, political, social and cultural spheres and consequently is psychological and state is not yet clear. But its consequences will undoubtedly be widespread. Various countries around the world have incurred harsh economic costs to deal with the crisis, and according to forecasts, the world will face an economic recession in the post-coronavirus era. However, it could be noted that economic capabilities of different countries are different. Although it is not possible to estimate the number of serious and catastrophic casualties from epidemics, there is no one point of hope, and that is the vast accumulated experience that human beings gain in the face of future crises. If the history of epidemic is a guide to humanity, to the spread of the disease like any other could create a wave of an innovation tailored to how lifestyle change. The effect and consequences of COVID-19 virus on lifestyle include culture, economic, political, educational, environmental, physiological and religious and jurisprudential, which can be traced back to culture change in society. The transition from individual fear to collective fear. The transition from individual concern to collective conscience. The transition from a materialistic to a spiritualist attitude. The transition from extreme extremism to humiliation. The transition from sense of security to a sense of insecurity. That's all from me. Now, Shakir, can you tell us about the ability of the vaccine?
Wow, very nice speech idea. Now, may I speak a little bit more details about the availability of vaccines. Emerged in late 2019 and began its spread around the world, the global innovation community mobilized quickly to initiate the development of the vaccines for COVID-19. The disease it caused. Hundreds of individuals and institutes in academia, both technology, government, and pharmaceutical embarked on one of the most consequential scientific endeavors in living memory. Funding poured in from governments, multilateral agencies, not-for-profit institutes, and the private sectors. Regulators show uncanny speed in working with innovators. Now, months late, more than 215 vaccines candidates are being pursued globally, with 30 already in clinical studies and another 25 or so poised to enter human trial in 2020. As the novel coronavirus continue to spread with roughly 1.5 million new cases of COVID-19 globally each week, and the pursuit of vaccines intensifies debate has grounds among corporate leaders, economists, public policy makers, and scientific experts, and even in our own living room. Will we have a COVID-19 vaccines? If so, when and how much value can it provide to society? Here is what we found. Vaccine developers and government officials are publicly reporting timelines for potential emergency use of vaccines candidate between the fourth quarters of 2020 and the first quarters of 2021. A number of hurdles remain, including validating unproven platform technologies, the most starting vaccines candidate, safety and protection against COVID-19, and delivering the highest impact vaccines profiles. Vaccines manufacturers have announced cumulative capacity that could produce as many as 1 billion doses by the end of 2020 and 9 billion doses by the end of 2021.
Will we have a vaccine, and if so, when?
Nice question. Ideal. Developers are under an unprecedented level of scrutiny as they move their vaccines candidates into clinical trial. Not so surprising when you consider how many experts have tied the availability of COVID-19 vaccines to the world return to a semblance of previous normality. Experts have proposed a range of potential timelines, with some speculating that a vaccine will be available by the end of 2020 and another agreeing it may take 12 months longer at least to bring a COVID-19 vaccines to market. What follows is an overview of publicly available evidence of vaccines timelines, promoting yearly evidence from phase 1 and 2 clinical trials and several other virus-specific and innovation-related development factors.
So we have discussed all about COVID-19, but we don't know about what the symptom of COVID-19.
The symptom of COVID-19. Oh, a nice question. The most common symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, dry cough, and tiredness. Other less common symptoms and may affect some patients include aches and pains, headaches, sore throats, and loss of taste or smell. Other serious symptoms was difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, chest pain or pressure. That's the symptoms of
COVID-19. Okay, that's all from us. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.